This is the Cosplay For Christ Podcast. I'm Jess, your host, and I'm here to encourage and strengthen Christians in the cosplay world, to speak truth in love, to embolden fellow believers to live proudly, showing the love of Jesus Christ in their circles, and practical tips and tricks for my cosplayers out there. All right, come on, let's do this. Hey everybody, this is Jess with Cosplay For Christ. If you're watching this, then this is new. Welcome to my video. For those of you still listening, I have started a YouTube channel and started recording my actual face. I'm so sorry. My husband said I should. So we're launching big here. We're doing season 4 of the Cosplay For Christ podcast. And we have now launched the Cosplay For Christ YouTube channel. So I'm going to be now uploading videos and shorts and tutorials. Hopefully some, I'll be getting a Eleanor wig. Oh, where? That one, right? There. There. I'll be putting up a tutorial on how I made that wig. Hopefully soon, we will see. But there's a lot of exciting stuff happening on the Cosplay For Christ YouTube channel. I will be starting to have a lot more guests on this year. And one of the things that I really want to be focusing on this year is Christian content creators, Christians who are in the nerd world, who are doing the work, who are doing they're in their brackets, they're in their lanes, and they're doing the thing that God has called them to do in their specific area. I just want to get people on that are doing the work for Christ and just have them talk about what they're doing. What is their thing that they're doing? How did God call them to it? Just all that kind of things. I'm really excited to meet some new faces, some people I've met over the summer that I'm very excited to have on the channel. And then also like some oldie but goodies, some old friends I will probably have back on here as well. You know, things are going to look a little different around here just because you're going to see my face more often. And that's okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to get through it. I'm probably going to be the biggest critic of seeing my own face all the time. I mean, you see it already with, all the makeup and all the things. And today I'm actually have makeup on because I am going to church tonight. So I wanted to not shock the people when I get to service tonight. But there's lots of really exciting things coming along that are going to be new this year. And so I feel very excited for this season. And I'm excited for just the things that God has in store for Cosplay For Christ, for me, for my family, and where this is heading. Been off for the summer with podcasting, but I'm going to give you a little recap of what's been going on this summer. I was planning on doing nothing this summer. I had a bunch of projects that were like boring, non-cosplay, non-nerdy projects, like staining some and refinishing some end tables and my banister and some stairs and like altering some dresses for a friend and that sort of thing. That was reupholstering my chairs in my kitchen. Those were the things I was going to do this summer. I did 0 of them. 0. The only thing I did do, I think you would call it by the skin of your teeth, was reupholster the kitchen tables. Right here. Oh, right here. I did that. I was being lazy. And I was using a really tiny screwdriver to get each little thing up. And I realized that my husband's pocket knife actually worked way faster. And so once I realized that, I was able to get 4 of them done in like less than an hour versus the 2 that I had done earlier in the beginning of the summer that just seemed like I was dying doing it. So anyway, I did do that. I got it in. It's not technically the end of summer. Fall has not started yet. So I did do that. So I get points. I get credit for that. Other than that, everything else did not get done. But for good reasons. The main reason is my girls are off for the summer. And so we went on a couple of family vacations. We went to Colorado. We went and visited down just south of us where we used to live in Branson, and just did some fun water stuff. And then Colorado, we got to see, my husband and I took our kids on the grand tour of where we used to live in Colorado, and that was really fun. And of course, it's mountains. We're always down for mountains. So that was a really fun vacation. And then we celebrated my dad's 70th birthday this summer, and went back to visit some family a couple of times in the summer too. So we were busy with family oriented stuff. But then on the cosplay side, which I did not plan to do, I was invited to be a guest at the God Comic and Gaming Convention, which was in St. Louis this summer. It was their 4th year, and it was the first time that they had moved to St. Louis. So me and my oldest daughter went up, and I was a cosplay guest for them, and that was really fun. And I think the really coolest thing about it was the time I got to spend with my daughter just one-on-one, but then also I got to meet some really amazing people, really cool artists, authors, and I will probably get to that at another time. But it was a great convention. It was fun little local. It was in a local church there. And it was just neat seeing people doing what God's called them to do. And so that was a neat crowd. And I was glad I was invited to come. And it was a total random, like someone I don't even know that went through my website that saw that. Here's my website in case you want it. Go there. You can see my stuff. All my stuff's there. But yeah, they found me through there and invited me. And so I was like, yeah. And it was actually my first time ever being a guest. I've gone to conventions and had my own booth and attended, but never as hey, please come and be a part of our programming. I'm like, oh, cool. So it was neat. I got to share a little bit of my testimony of why I do what I do. And it was just fun. It was fun. It was a fun little trip. It was like one day in the summer, and that was neat. So I did realize that because I never done this before, I had packed way too much stuff. I didn't take Commander Shepard, but I did take that mannequin and another mannequin that's in the closet there, and I put the King Ferguson and Eleanor here. Here you can see. That's what I did. That what is out right there is actually less than I still had like half a trunk in my minivan full of stuff I couldn't even put out because I didn't have room to put all my stuff. Anyway, next time if I do stuff, I will. It's a learning thing. You fail and then you learn from your failure what not to do next time. So I've learned a lot of good things from failing. So failing is not bad, by the way. Sometimes we can get embarrassed because we fail, or we really don't want to fail. And so it's like, I just don't want to mess up. It's okay. Literally everyone messes up, and it's okay. Like, unless it's really not okay. But then you still learn, and you'll never do it again, I promise. Through God Comics and Gaming Convention, I met Shantae James. And Shantae James is the founder of FaithCon. And so I have been asked to be a panelist at FaithCon, which is a Christian-based online hybrid convention, which is pretty cool. And so Shantae James is the founder of this. She started this whole thing. So my panel is going to consist of 3 other people with me, and we're going to be talking about sharing the gospel at secular cons and showing God's love. And that's kind of the base of what my panel will be about. And we have Laura Farah, who does film and is a author. Among other things, she's an artist. She's the one that helped me make that costume right there. That was my first cosplay right there. My Commander Shepard armor. We had many a good time putting that together. And then Hector Murray from Faith and Fandom, he does a podcast. He's also an author. He's done devotionals. He goes to cons with his booth. He's an artist. He does all these things. He's great. And then Marcos de la Cerda, and he is a fellow cosplayer like me, but he's also, that's like his part-time, but full-time, he is an AP history teacher in high school and does, he's like Army Reserve Staff Sergeant, and he has real jobs and does real things. And super great guy. And I'm excited to have them all on the panel with me to discuss. I believe our panel is at 1:00 Central Standard Time at the Faith and Fandom information. I'll put that in the show notes so you can link on it. And if you use promo code CHURCH, you can get free tickets. So definitely do that if you want to. And it's if you're not in a hosting city that has one, you can just go online and you can literally do it while you're grocery shopping or sitting in bed or whatever. You could do the live streaming anywhere you have a phone or computer. So good deal. Make sure you sign up for it. It's going to be good. So that is going on. And then the summer, which is it just flew. So that's been kind of the update for what's been going on over here. Other than the big news of me having the YouTube channel, I'm going to start working on some new cosplays. I did just finish up a fun photo shoot with my friend Cynthia Eve Cosplay. Miss Caitlin is awesome. And she had asked me if I would do a Queen Eleanor cosplay with her. She was going to make a Merida Brave costume. And I was like, yes, she's already on my list. So I'll go ahead and make it. And I made it. And it was like back when we went to the Narnia Fair. And so I wore it for that. And that's what I ended up making the King Fergus. And then my little daughter, I ended up making her a little Merida as well. And so we tried to schedule a photo shoot during the summer. It just didn't work. And we finally got it scheduled. And I was able to actually upgrade the wig. And I just had to do some repairs because I had a bunch of beading and embroidery that needed to be fixed and added buttons. So there was just some things that I was able to do, which was great. So the photo shoot went great. It was really fun. The only thing is, y'all, when you are actually, when you make stuff, it's really great. But when you actually physically put it on and actually start wearing it, just things are going to break. Things are going to, not so much like my sewing, although the beads did fall out. If you pulled on them, I probably needed to reinforce them a little better, but more so like like my belt or the things that are like the physical props and things are usually what tends to break on my cosplays. I'm sure I need to get better at what I do, but my belt buckle. So you could kind of see it in this picture right here. Oh gosh, I got to get used to this. Okay, this picture. Okay, if you notice in the middle, you could see that it's a great picture. Love it. So the photographer, Otaku Photography, is the one that took it. He did a great job. Him and his wife, they're adorable. I love them. Highly recommend. If you're in the Springfield area, book them. They're great. But if you notice my belt, it has two little black spots. Yeah. And that is his lovely wife's hair ties, because both my secure little strap things ended up breaking off. And it was like, it popped when I was like, we did this shot where me and Caitlin are laying down and like literally goes pop. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, that was my belt again. It was the second time. They're like, no. So she like pulled the hair tie out of her hair and like just real quick went and fixed it. It's so cute. So I ended up buying so after the fact, what I'm showing for you non-video people is a pack of gold hair ties. And I literally repaired now, if I want to wear it in the future, these lovely Amazon gold from Amazon. I ended up just buying those, and it's great. And actually is much better than the glue and the tape that I tried to use. And it's stretchy, so it fits with me. So if I get a little bigger, it will stretch with me. And if I get a little smaller, it'll shrink with me. So it's great. Again, failures lead to solutions that you might not have thought of before to begin with. So anyway, we had the photo shoot and it went really well, and really happy. He's still editing photos. I will put some of those out there on the Instagram and the TikToks as they come out, but very much very professional, really great guy, great team. I was happy that Cynthia Eve Cosplay introduced me to him. So it's a great fun. So that was fun. I'm going to have more professional photo shoots. I need to do that more. I want to get my fallout do a professional photo shoot with that. And so that'll be on the toggin. But what I'm really excited about, and I'm going to say it out loud, that way it's said and you guys can hold me accountable. I'm going to really actually not just pretend, because I've already started this years ago and I never got past the clay. I am going to actually try to finish or start. I guess I did start technically. So finish. I'm going to try to finish my raws from Monsters Inc. cosplay. I have a clay head where I was sculpting for the latex prosthetic, and it moved with me to Missouri from Texas, and it is just sat there and just stares at me whenever I go in my sewing room. So I'm going to try to actually finish the clay. I have an idea based on kind of what Adam Savage did with his Raptor suit, which surprisingly a lot of the videos kind of got scrubbed on how he actually made the thing. But I've been seeing, here's my theory. I'm going to do some tests, because tests are good before you ruin a bunch of materials. I'm going to try to do a test of using silicone on fabric or foam. I don't know. If I do a foam base of the shell, almost like a mascot, to like kind of shape her. And then I wanted her to look slimy because she's a slug. So I was thinking if I could like smooth on in like almost like kind of little blobs this silicone, like clear silicone, and then maybe paint it to try to mimic the image of that slimy slug type thing. I don't want to use fabric where it looks dull. I want it to look shiny, and actually I want it to kind of, if someone touches it, like it kind of feels gross. So if you have suggestions, please send them my way. I am not so proud that I won't accept help. I have friends that send me videos on how to do stuff all the time, and I love them. And I love when you send me videos on how to do stuff, because I am literally learning as I go. I am making stuff up as I go. So if you have stuff that you can recommend, I love to figure out stuff, but sometimes I just need a little extra help, or I need someone to show me a technique that I can see it. And actually, I got this idea with the silicone based on a dress that another cosplayer had put in her stories, showing how to do like this, almost like a dragon skin type dress. And it looked cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, how are you breathing in that? That's like, I'm going to be just a slick of sweat with that. And she was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm like, I'm always thinking about being too hot in cosplays all the time, because I literally am sweating all the time. It's ridiculous. I probably have a condition. But anyway, so that sparked this idea of like, oh, I wonder if I could use that silicone like that you can get at Home Depot and like use it as a topical thing to make it look like a slug. So anyway, you're going to hold me to it. And that's good. Okay. All right. So that is my update. That is how I'm excited about the season coming up. Season 4, we're a lot of shifts and changes, but I'm gonna stay firm in where God has put me, and so I'm gonna keep going until He says, "Okay, you're done." Tag, someone else can take over, and I'll be like, "Woohoo!" I have this quick scripture I'm going to read to you real quick in Lamentations. And it says, "This I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. Though the Lord's mercies are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I hope in Him. The Lord is good to those who wait for Him, to the soul who seeks Him. It is good that one should hope and wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." And that's in Lamentations 3:22. Well, 3:21 through 26, actually, technically. And I just wanted to just put that out there, because when we try to do stuff in our own timing, it is not doesn't always go well. Doesn't always it could be better. Let's just put it that way. It could be better. And when we wait on the Lord and wait for His timing, things just seem sometimes to fall into place, and things tend to be better than they would have if you try to force things. And so this scripture, his mercies are new every morning. They are never consumed. I always think about that. I actually, every morning when I do my devotions, I go and I've been walking in the morning and I will listen to my Bible verses for the day, and then I will pray. And one of the things I'm constantly praying is like, thank you, God, that your mercies are new every morning, that they're never consumed, that as I wait on you, it is good, and it's hard to be in the waiting period of things, but God says that it is good for us to wait and wait on his timing. So be encouraged. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And just because you've been praying and praying and praying for something to happen doesn't mean that God's not listening. But God can see the bigger picture of things, and he has the grand plan in his hands, and he can see the inner workings of things that we cannot. And so we have to trust and wait on him in order to know when the timing is right to do the things. And sometimes his answer is no. And if his answer is no, you can have a choice. Your choice is either to keep pushing the thing that you want, or to submit to him and humble yourself and be like, okay, so if it's not that, then give me something that is better, because God's way is always better. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in our first episode of season 4, Cosplay for Christ podcast. Thank you for watching. For those that you're watching, and for those listening, go check out the YouTube channel. Click like, subscribe. I don't know, all those things. I don't get paid for this, so do what you want. Share it though. Share it to others that are Christians in the creative world that would appreciate to hear this stuff. So I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna leave you with this. Be blessed, know who you are in Christ, and take ground for the kingdom. Till next time, guys. Bye.